Hey class, we're on the explain portion of our lesson. The flu. Do we overreact? We're going to learn about why we should care about infectious disease by examining the flu's impact on society. Make sure you have your notebook because it's an effective way to stamp your learning, and it's also graded. We follow this general format, and today's lesson should look like this. Remember, if you see a Bitmoji, you should be writing. Write this down. Now, an infectious disease, you might have noticed, is transmittable, and it comes from an infectious agent, like something that could get you sick. Whereas a disease is not transmittable, so you can't get it from someone else. Instead, you can get a disease from any number of sources, like your genetics or environmental toxins. Take a moment, list the ways that infectious diseases can be transmitted in your notebook. Pause the video. Now, here are a few ways that I came up with. Take a moment and read it over. Now, the influenza pandemic in 1918 was some wild example of when our society was extremely impacted by a single flu. It was caused by a virus that originated in a bird. Now, it caused more deaths than World War I, and it hit young adults hardest, which is surprising since usually young adults are most resilient. Write whatever words are highlighted in white. Now, if we wanted to see how the Spanish flu impacted Philadelphia versus St. Louis, let's check out this graph. On the y-axis, or the up and down line, you can see that that's the death rate per 100,000 people. So 300 out of 100,000 people is the max, while 0 out of 100,000 people is the minimum. If you check the x-axis, or the horizontal left to right line, you'll see that is the date. In the 14th of September, in 1918, both St. Louis and Philadelphia had 0 per 100,000 population death death by the Spanish flu. But we'll notice that as time goes on, Philadelphia experiences a huge peak around the 19th of October, whereas St. Louis doesn't experience nearly as high as a peak. We can see that St. Louis used social distancing, while Philadelphia used almost no social distancing and even held a World War I parade as the flu intensity increased. Given what we just learned, try to answer this question. What impacts did the 1918 flu have on society? And then think to yourself, what do you think would happen if so many young people died within a short period of time? Use evidence from the slides to support your answer. And then also feel free to use those sentence starters.